previous generations were very, very hard on their kids. And I think we've swung as a society probably in the too soft of an approach again, right? So it's everything is cotton wool, and we don't put any barriers on. So say social media, right? We know it's shit for us. We know this, but nevertheless, you give your 9-year-old an iPad with no limits. Like, make this make sense, you know? I've got a phone here. That phone has an app called Opal, which I think you've probably come across, which is something that blocks. It's better than screen time blocker. It just physically doesn't. If you set it correctly, it physically won't let you open apps, right? My phone is just blocked out the whole time, right? I've got a block from 8 p.m. till 9 a.m. I've got a 30-minute window in the morning at 8:45, 30-minute window in the morning that I often miss because I'm going to work. So, and then it's blocked till 12 p.m. Then it's open for 2 hours, and then it's blocked again, and it's open for 2 hours, and it's blocked again. But if I ever spend more than 15 minutes on any of those apps combined together, it's again blocked for 15 minutes. And I do this because I know if I didn't have the block, I am not strong. If I'm not strong enough for that stuff, because I know that if I've had a really long day, and now with the newborn it's different, but say the kids are in bed, say it's 8:30, I would just lie there for an hour. If I had no block, no limitations, I would just lie there for an hour and just do shit. And, then all my goals would go out of the window because I just waste time on some stupid app. So I know this. So why do people then not impose that on their children? Mine might be a bit extreme, but, our teenager has a phone. He's got 20-minute time limit on stuff for the day. That's it, 20 minutes. You can't access in the evening and not until after school again, because I know this. So there is that. I think that's definitely something. And for me, that comes into the parenting approach generally. So if I stick with him, he's deep into basketball. But there's obviously elements that, I've always liked basketball, and it's easier to see stuff from the sidelines than somebody being there. So what we often do is if I go to his games, he sees I'm there, right? I'm present. I cheer him on, tell him when he's done well or not, always there for him. But we always have a bit of a debrief. Like, what are things that I saw, just work on a bit, just small things. And we might put on a podcast that is a bit motivational, just to kind of get those juices going. And that's for me, that dichotomy where I'll try and make sure that you show presence, but you do also show the kids that hard work and having a bit of a self-critical side is important. The other thing is, we don't give our kids pocket money. They have to earn it. Okay. I was given pocket money, not much, but I was given pocket money. Therefore, I assumed money just comes to you. It's not a good thing. So our kids need to do chores. We pay them well if they do chores for others, and if they have a good attitude, I pay extra. But that's one of those things where I just think, I'm not trying to be too self-critical, and I also want to be careful that if they've been gone all day, they don't feel they just have to work now. But you have to, I think, strike that balance.
Well, I think with parenting, the realization that, like, you're not raising a 5-year-old, you're raising a future adult. So, like, what environment do you need to create that would facilitate them becoming the best version of themselves as an adult? I don't see enough people talking about that, because they get too wrapped up in, like, the day to day of, like, oh, this 5-year-old or all the fucking terrible twos. And it's just like, or all, this bratty teenager. It's like, that bratty teenager one day is going to be in charge of whether or not to pull the fucking plug on you, like shit like that. Like, but like on like a more serious note, I guess, like, you're raising future adults. What does that adult in the future need to have gone through in this moment? Yeah. Right. Yeah. And I think, again, man, like, you're an inspiration for a lot of reasons, but especially parenting, because it's like that of, like, okay, day to day, it is less of a battle early on to just give in and let your kids spend 8 hours on a fucking tablet or rotting their brain on TikTok. But the future adult your kid has the potential to become, they won't get there if you allow them to just, without any guardrails, do all of that. Versus saying, like, look, 20 minutes, you can socialize, you can do whatever you want. You can continue to be a digital native, as like, being tech savvy, cool. But you're going to cultivate a craft. You're going to develop your craftsmanship in basketball or in nature, or learning about, ecology or journaling or whatever it is, right? Not only are you going to develop a craft, because social media isn't a fucking craft. Doing this, it doesn't do fuck all. But you're also going to be actually living and experiencing life, and living with presence and intention. And I think that is something very few people themselves are intentional with in their own lives. And we're seeing that more and more inherited by younger generations. Right, because it's like, the stereotype of like the parents are like, they're at dinner at the family dinner table, and like everybody's on the phone. It's like mom's on the phone, dad's on the phone, all the kids on the phone. It's like you're not present at all.
Yeah.
How do you all navigate that with 7 kids, 2 adults, plus work shit, plus all your creator shit?
We have, I mean, never even would have started with having phones at the table. That's not a thing. Like, phones are not at the table. They're just not. Like, I don't have my phone at the table. My wife would never do that. So that's not a thing. So I think that makes it, but that in itself makes it probably quite easy, because so our teenager has one, and his sister's going to also get one soon. 13 was kind of where we thought, okay, well, it also gives them a chance to take pictures, podcasts, all of that. It's good stuff too. However, since we don't have phones at the table, they won't. I would never allow that. Like, that doesn't happen. But equally, we're not complete nomads living in some sort of wooden hut somewhere. So, but we'll have family movie nights together, and we'll watch stuff together. That's fine. But that we cultivate that, because it's a very short time span. As I said, we know, teenagers at one point, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, spend time with them. So then they're out of the house, right? And then you have very, very, very limited amount of time with them. Therefore, where we can, we will force everybody to enjoy movies together, if that's the thing. No, but making memories like that is very important. But yeah, same with my creator stuff. I mean, the way it works for me, quite clearly is I mean, from a presence perspective, it would be horrible, and that's why I think I can't do what other people are doing, where they film everything that they're doing, and literally have a camera in the kids' faces, and like, everybody would know the names of my kids and would be like, oh, like that would never be a thing. I'd never want to get to that level and wouldn't allow it. So that's one. But the other thing is, just from a brain perspective, I need to have it systematized. So I've got my stuff going out. I've got some days planned out for the rest of the year already. It's just done. It's like, I don't need to think about it anymore. Spend a good amount of time, focus, as we said, focus time, get shit done. And then I don't have to think about it. Message is still good, and I'll supplement it with real stuff when it comes up. But yeah, rather than just, again, it's being more strategic rather than reactive about stuff.